I'm standing on the side of a highway in the middle of nowhere, and I can't breathe. My chest feels like someone's sitting on it. The dust from Derek's SUV is still hanging in the air like a dirty cloud, and through it, I can see Brandon's phone pressed against the back window. He's filming me, recording my face as I scream my husband's name until my throat burns. They're laughing. I can hear it even as the car gets smaller and smaller in the distance. Tyler's howl carries on the wind like a coyote. Brandon's pointing at me, his mouth wide open with laughter. And Derek, my husband, the man who promised to love and protect me, is driving. His hands are on the wheel, and he's not stopping. Derek! I scream one more time, my voice cracking. Please! The SUV disappears around a bend. Just gone. Like it was never there. I stand there for a long moment, my arms still stretched out toward empty road, waiting for them to come back. This is a joke, right? They're going to turn around. Derek's going to pull up laughing, saying, "You should see your face," and I'm going to pretend it's funny, because that's what I always do. I laugh at their jokes even when they're not funny, even when I'm the punchline. But the road stays empty. The sun is dropping lower in the sky, painting everything orange and purple. It's beautiful. It's terrifying. My phone. I grab it from my pocket with shaking hands. 2% battery. The screen shows no signal. 0 bars. I try calling Derek anyway. Straight to voicemail. I try again. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. This isn't funny anymore, I shout at my phone, like he can hear me. Derek, this isn't funny. But maybe it is funny. Maybe that's the whole point. I think about Brandon filming me, and I know exactly what he's doing. He's going to post it somewhere. Show it to their friends. Look at Derek's wife freaking out. Look how easy she is to mess with. And they'll all laugh together, and Derek will show it to his parents, and his mom will shake her head, but she'll be smiling. Because I'm the joke. I've always been the joke to them. This morning feels like a year ago. Derek picked me up at 7, said we were going to his family's vacation house for the weekend. Just us. Quality time, he promised. I was excited. I packed nice clothes, did my makeup carefully, thought maybe this trip would be different. Maybe without his whole family around, Derek would actually talk to me like he used to when we were in high school. Then I got to the car and saw Brandon and Tyler already in the back seat. Surprise! Derek said, grinning. The guys wanted to come too. You don't mind, right? I minded. But I said, of course not. The more the merrier. That's what I always say. I'm easygoing. Flexible. Cool. I laugh along. The 4-hour drive was torture. They talked over me every time I tried to join the conversation. Made inside jokes I didn't understand. Brandon kept making comments about dead weight and extra baggage while looking right at me. Tyler would snort with laughter. Derek said nothing. He just drove, bobbing his head to their music, like I wasn't even there. We stopped for lunch at some expensive steakhouse. They ordered for me without asking what I wanted. Got me a salad with walnuts even though they know I'm allergic to tree nuts. I've told them 100 times. When I asked to order something else, Brandon rolled his eyes and said, God, you're high maintenance. I ate the salad, picked around the walnuts, said thank you. After lunch, they made me sit in the back middle seat, the uncomfortable one with no legroom, squeezed between their bags and coolers. My knees were pressed against Tyler's seat. Every bump in the road made my back hurt. 4 hours to the vacation house, Derek said. But we kept driving further and further into nothing. No houses, no gas stations, just desert and rocks and scraggly little trees. Where exactly is this place? I asked after 3 hours. Oh, it's really remote, Derek said. That's what makes it special. Another hour passed. The landscape got even emptier. I started feeling uneasy. Something felt wrong. The way Brandon kept looking back at me with that smirk. The way Tyler had his phone out, checking it every few minutes. The way Derek's shoulders were tense, like he was nervous. Then Derek pulled over at this scenic overlook. Just a dirt pullout on the side of the highway, with a view of brown hills. "Let's take some photos," he said. "The light is perfect." I got out of the car, grateful to stretch my legs. My feet hurt. I was wearing ballet flats, not hiking boots. Nobody told me we'd be stopping in the desert. Derek walked me about 20 feet from the car, positioned me with the sunset behind me. "Stay right there," he said, backing up toward the SUV. "Don't move." I smiled, posed, waited for him to take the picture. Instead, I heard the engine start. My smile disappeared. "Derek?" He was getting in the driver's seat. Brandon was already inside, phone out. Tyler was climbing in the passenger side, moving fast. "Derek, what are you doing?" The car started moving. Slowly at first, rolling backward. "Derek!" Then they accelerated. Whipped around. Gravel sprayed everywhere. I started running toward them, but my shoes slipped on the loose rocks. I went down on one knee, felt it scrape open through my jeans. "Wait, stop!" I got up, ran harder. The car was picking up speed. I could see their faces through the windows now. Brandon had his phone pressed to the glass, recording. His mouth was wide open, laughing. Tyler was pointing at me, slapping the dashboard. And Derek was driving away from his wife in the middle of the desert, and he was smiling. "Derek, please. This isn't funny." But they kept going. The SUV hit the main highway and sped up. 40 miles per hour. 50. Gone. I stand here now, alone, as the sun gets lower. My phone is dead. The temperature is dropping. I'm wearing a thin cardigan and ruined jeans and shoes that are already giving me blisters. And the only thing I can think is, this can't be happening. But it is. I've tried calling Derek 17 times before my phone finally dies. The screen goes black in my hands, and I stare at it, like, if I look hard enough, it'll come back to life. It doesn't. 17 calls. Every single one went straight to voicemail. He turned his phone off, or blocked me, which means this wasn't a spur-of-the-moment thing. This was planned. The sun is touching the horizon now, and the temperature is dropping fast. I'm already shivering in my cardigan. My knee throbs where I scraped it on the gravel. When I look down, there's blood soaking through my jeans. I can't just stand here. Nobody's coming. No cars have passed in the last 30 minutes. I haven't seen a single building or house since we turned onto this highway hours ago. So I start walking, back the way we came. Toward that gas station we passed. How long ago was that? 2 hours? 3? It felt like forever while we were driving. But maybe it's not that far on foot. Maybe I can reach it before dark. My ballet flats weren't made for hiking on highways. Within 20 minutes I feel the first blister forming on my heel. Within an hour, every step is agony. I take the shoes off and carry them, but the asphalt is rough and hot from the day's sun, so I put them back on. Take them off, put them on. Nothing helps. The sun disappears completely. The sky turns from purple to navy to black. Stars come out, more stars than I've ever seen in my life. It would be beautiful if I wasn't terrified. I keep walking. My mouth is so dry it hurts to swallow. When did I last drink water? Lunch? That was 6 hours ago. Maybe 7 now. I don't have my phone to check the time. I'm thirsty. So thirsty. My lips are cracking. Every sound makes me jump. The wind through the scrub brush sounds like footsteps. An animal rustles somewhere in the dark. Coyote? Snake? I walk faster, which makes my feet hurt worse, which makes me slow down again. What if Derek doesn't come back? What if this wasn't just a prank? What if... No. I can't think like that. He's my husband. He's known me since I was 16. We grew up together. He wouldn't actually abandon me out here to die, would he? But he drove away. He smiled while he did it. I've been walking for what feels like hours when I finally see headlights. My heart nearly explodes with relief. I wave my arms, stepping into the road, not even caring if it's dangerous. The vehicle slows down a pickup truck, old and dusty. An elderly man rolls down the window. His wife leans over from the passenger seat, both of them looking at me with concern and confusion. "Miss, are you all right?" the man asks. And that's when I start crying. Really crying. Not the panic screaming from before, but deep shaking sobs that I can't control. They help me into the truck. The wife wraps a blanket around my shoulders even though it's not that cold anymore. She hands me a bottle of water, and I drink half of it in one go. "What happened?" she asks gently. I tell them. The whole thing. How my husband and his cousins left me on the side of the road. How they drove away laughing. How they filmed it. The words pour out of me between sobs, and I can see the horror on their faces. "That's not a prank," the man says, his jaw tight. "That's criminal. That's abandonment. We're taking you to town," his wife says. "There's a motel about 30 miles from here. You need to call the police." "I need to call my husband," I say automatically. They exchange a look. The wife pats my hand. "Honey, maybe someone else first." They drive me to a tiny town that's barely more than a main street with a gas station, a diner, and a motel. The motel is called Desert Rose Inn, and it looks like it hasn't been updated since 1975. The elderly couple, Bob and Helen, they tell me their names are pay for my room. Helen loans me her cell phone. I sit on the scratchy motel bedspread, staring at the phone in my hands. I should call Derek. I should call him and scream at him and demand he come get me. But something stops me. Instead, I call my brother Kevin. He lives 3 states away. We don't talk as much as we should. Derek never liked him, said Kevin was too judgmental. Now I realize Kevin was judging Derek for good reasons. Kevin answers on the second ring. "Hello, it's me," I say, and my voice cracks. "Liv? Whose number is this? Are you okay?" I tell him everything. The whole story pours out again, and I can hear Kevin getting angrier with every word. "I'm going to kill him," Kevin says when I finish. "I'm going to actually kill him. Where are you? I'm coming to get you right now." "You don't have to. Olivia, tell me where you are." I give him the address of the motel. He says he'll leave immediately, should be there by morning. He makes me promise to stay in the room with the door locked. After we hang up, I sit there holding Helen's phone. It's 11:47 p.m. I've been gone for over 12 hours now. Derek must have made it to the vacation house. Must have realized I'm not just going to show up eventually. Must be wondering where I am. The phone rings in my hand, making me jump. Unknown number. I answer it. Finally! Derek's voice explodes through the speaker. "Olivia, where the hell are you? You're embarrassing me. My parents have been calling. Not are you okay? Not I'm so sorry. Just annoyance that I'm embarrassing him." I hang up. The phone rings again immediately. I let it ring. It goes to voicemail. Rings again. Voicemail. Again. 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 I listen to the voicemails. 16 of them. They range from laughter, "Come on, it was funny. Don't be so sensitive," to irritation. "You're overreacting. It was just a joke," to fake concern. "Okay, seriously now. Where are you?" People are asking questions. I listen to every single one. And with each message, something inside me changes. Hardens. Crystallizes into something cold and sharp. I think about 6 years of marriage. 6 years of being the punchline. Of laughing when I wanted to cry. Of making myself smaller so they could feel bigger. Of Derek's silence every time his family mocked me. Every time they forgot to include me in photos. Every time they made jokes about my clothes, my job, my background. This wasn't just a prank. This was who they really are. Who Derek really is. The phone rings again. Derek, calling from Tyler's number now. I don't answer. Instead, I sit on that motel bed, wrapped in Helen's blanket, and I make a decision. The most important decision of my life. I'm never speaking to them again. Any of them. Kevin arrives at dawn. He's furious, ready to drive straight to Derek's location and drag him out of whatever expensive vacation house he's hiding in. But I stop him with words that surprise us both. No. Take me home. To your home. I'm done. You're coming back with me? Yes. And I'm never speaking to Derek again. Ever. Kevin studies my face. He sees something there that makes him stop arguing. Okay, let's go. As we drive away from Desert Rose Inn, Helen's phone buzzes in my lap. Derek again. I block the number. Then I block his real number from my memory. Then I block Tyler's number. Brandon's number. Every Morrison number I have saved. Kevin glances at me. You sure about this? I watch the desert disappear in the rearview mirror. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. I don't go back to the apartment. I can't. The thought of walking through that door, seeing our things mixed together like our lives are still connected, makes me feel sick. Kevin and his wife Patricia set me up in their guest room. It's small and painted yellow, with floral curtains that Patricia made herself. It's the safest I've felt in years. 3 days later, Derek shows up. I'm sitting at the kitchen table when I hear his car pull into the driveway. I know the sound of that engine. My whole body tenses. Patricia reaches across the table and squeezes my hand. The doorbell rings. Kevin answers it. I can hear everything from where I'm sitting. Where is she? Derek's voice. He sounds tired. Worried. Like he's the victim here. She doesn't want to see you, Kevin says. She's my wife. I need to talk to her. You abandoned your wife in the desert and drove away laughing. You don't get to make demands. It was a joke. We were coming back for her. We just wanted to scare her a little. How was I supposed to know she'd freak out like this? I stand up, walk to the doorway where I can see Derek through the screen door. He's holding flowers, grocery store flowers still in the plastic wrapper. He sees me, and his face lights up with relief. Liv! Thank God! Can you please tell your brother this is insane? We need to talk about this. I look at him. Really look at him. His hair is messy, like he's been running his hands through it. His eyes are bloodshot. He looks stressed. Good. I don't say anything. Just look at him like I'm looking at a stranger. Because that's what he is now. Someone I used to know. Then I turn around and walk away. Back to the kitchen. Back to Patricia and her coffee and the safety of yellow walls. Liv, Olivia. Derek's voice gets louder. You can't just ignore me. We're married. Kevin says something low that I can't hear. The door closes. Derek's car starts up after a few minutes. Leaves. Patricia hugs me while I stand there dry-eyed and hollow. You did good, honey, she whispers. Derek tries everything over the next 2 weeks. He calls Kevin's house phone 50 times. Sends flowers to the door. Shows up twice more. Both times blocked by Kevin. Sends me emails about how much he loves me, how sorry he is, how it was just supposed to be funny. I read every email. Delete every one. Feel nothing. His mother calls. Leaves a voicemail about how I'm tearing the family apart, how Derek is devastated, how I need to be more forgiving. I delete it. Brandon posts the video on social media. I don't see it. I've deleted all my accounts, but Patricia's friend tells her about it. The caption says, "When pranks go wrong, lol." It has 15,000 views. Most of the comments call them monsters. Some think it's hilarious. Brandon deletes it after 2 days, but the damage is done. People have downloaded it, shared it. Derek's family is humiliated. Good. I file for divorce on day 16. Kevin drives me to a lawyer's office. The lawyer is a woman named Mrs. Chen, no relation, who listens to my story with a face made of stone. We'll get you everything you're entitled to, she says. I don't want anything from him, I tell her. I just want out. You're entitled to. I don't want his money. I don't want the apartment. I don't want anything that ties me to him. Just end it. Mrs. Chen looks at me for a long moment. then nods. All right, let's end it. Derek contests the divorce at first, says we should try counseling, that I'm throwing away 6 years over one mistake. But I don't respond, I don't engage. I speak to him exactly once, through my lawyer. Sign the papers. He signs after 3 weeks. I think he finally realizes I mean it, that I'm not coming back, that there's no grand gesture he can make that will fix this. The divorce is final 2 months after the desert. I keep my grandmother's sewing machine, my clothes, my books. He keeps everything else. The apartment with its expensive furniture. The car, the shared bank account, all of it. I consider it a fair trade. He gets things, I get my life back. Living with Kevin and Patricia, I start to remember who I was before Derek. Before I learnt to make myself quiet and small and agreeable. I find my old sketchbook from high school, buried in a box Kevin saved when I moved out years ago. Page after page of clothing designs. Dresses and jackets and elaborate gowns I drew when I was 17 and still believed I could be someone. These are beautiful, Patricia says, flipping through them. Why did you stop? Derek said fashion design was unrealistic, that I should focus on stable work. Patricia's face hardens. Derek was an idiot. She convinces me to take a class at the community college. Introduction to Fashion Design. It meets twice a week. I work double shifts at a diner to pay for it, serving coffee and pancakes to truckers and locals. My feet hurt. My back aches. I'm happier than I've been in years. The class is full of young kids, 18 and 19, fresh out of high school with big dreams. I'm 28 and divorced and starting over. I should feel embarrassed. Instead, I feel hungry. Like I've been starving and someone finally offered me food. The instructor, Professor Williams, likes my work. Says I have raw talent and unique perspective. She encourages me to apply to fashion schools. Real ones. In real cities. I can't afford that, I tell her. There are scholarships. Grants. You're good enough, Olivia. Don't limit yourself. That night, I research fashion schools. New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. The tuition makes my head spin. But there are scholarships, payment plans, student loans. I work more shifts, save every penny. Apply to schools with shaking hands and low expectations. 8 months after Derek left me in the desert, I get an acceptance letter from a fashion institute in New York City. They're offering me a partial scholarship. I'd have to cover the rest: housing, supplies, living expenses, but it's possible. Barely. Kevin finds me crying in the yellow guest room, clutching the letter. What's wrong? He asks, alarmed. Nothing's wrong, I say, and I'm laughing and crying at the same time. Everything's right. I got in. I got into fashion school. Liv! That's amazing! I can't afford it. How much do you need? We do the math. With my savings, the scholarship, and a loan, I'd have enough for 1 year. After that, I'd have to figure something out. Work more. Apply for more aid. Something. It's risky, Kevin says carefully. I know. You'd be moving to New York with basically nothing. I know. You could fail. End up broke and back here in a year. I know. I look at him. But I could also succeed. And if I don't try, I'll never know. Kevin hugs me. Then you should go. Patricia helps me pack. I don't have much clothes, my sewing machine, my sketchbooks, some money. It all fits in 2 suitcases and a backpack. Everything I own. The night before I leave, I'm lying in the yellow guest room for the last time when Patricia knocks on the door. Can't sleep? She asks. Too excited, too scared. She sits on the edge of the bed. You know what Derek told Kevin once? At your wedding? He said you were lucky to marry up. That you should be grateful his family accepted you. I feel that old familiar shame rising up. I never told you because I didn't want to hurt you, Patricia continues. But I'm telling you now because I want you to remember something. Derek didn't marry up when he married you. You married down when you married him. And now you're going to go show the whole world what he was too stupid to see. I cry. She hugs me. And in the morning, Kevin drives me to the bus station. New York City is 17 hours away. I have $3,000 in my bank account, a dream I'd buried for 6 years, and absolutely nothing to lose. The bus pulls away from the station. I watch my brother get smaller in the rear window, waving until I can't see him anymore. Then I turn forward, toward New York, toward everything I'm about to become. I don't look back. New York City is overwhelming. The noise, the crowds, the way everyone moves like they're late for something important, it's nothing like the small town I grew up in. My studio apartment in Queens is the size of Derek's old closet, and costs twice what I used to pay for my share of rent. But it's mine, every cramped inch of it. Fashion school is brutal. The other students are younger, more polished, more connected. They have parents who summer in the Hamptons and winter in Aspen. They wear designer clothes to class and talk about internships at houses I've only read about in magazines. I wear thrift store finds and work at a coffee shop 30 hours a week to make rent. But I work harder than all of them. I stay up until 3 in the morning perfecting seams. I sketch during my lunch breaks. I learn everything: draping, pattern making, textiles, history. Professor Williams was right. I'm good at this. Really good. The school hosts a showcase at the end of first year. Students can submit designs to be displayed for industry professionals. I submit 3 pieces: a jacket, a dress, and a coat. Nothing too ambitious. I can't afford expensive fabrics, so I work with what I can get. Make the construction flawless to compensate. The night of the showcase, I'm arranging my pieces on the rack when I notice a woman watching me. She's older, maybe 50, wearing an elegant black coat that probably costs more than my entire tuition. She studies my jacket for a long time, running her fingers over the stitching. "Interesting construction," she says. "French accent. Who taught you to finish seams like this?" "My grandmother," I answer. She was a seamstress. The woman examines the dress next, then the coat. She spends 20 minutes at my little section while other students watch nervously. Finally, she pulls a card from her purse. "I'm Genevieve Laurent. I work for Alexander Fontaine." My heart stops. Everyone knows that name. Alexander Fontaine, the man who built unknowns into icons. The designer who rejected 10,000 applicants for every one he accepted. "Mr. Fontaine appreciates raw talent," Genevieve continues. "He'll see you Thursday at 3 p.m. She writes an address on the back of the card. "Don't be late." She walks away before I can respond. I stand there holding the card, shaking. The other students swarm me the second she's gone. "How do you know Genevieve Laurent? Did she really just give you Alexander Fontaine's address? Do you know how lucky you are?" I don't feel lucky. I feel terrified. Thursday arrives too fast. I put on my best outfit, a dress I made myself. Black and simple, paired with a jacket from the showcase. I take 3 trains to get to Manhattan, to an address in a gleaming building that makes me feel impossibly small. The receptionist leads me to the top floor. The elevator ride feels like it takes hours. The doors open to an office that's all windows and white furniture, and the kind of quiet that money buys. And there he is, Alexander Fontaine. He's tall, maybe late 30s, with dark hair going silver at the temples. He's looking at my 3 pieces, spread across his massive desk. Doesn't look up when I enter. "Tell me, Olivia," he says, his accent a mix of French and Italian. "What makes you different from the 1,000 other designers who want what you want?" I take a breath, think about the desert highway, about starting over with nothing, about every person who counted me out. "I have nothing left to lose," I say, "and everything to prove." He looks up then, studies my face. "Show me your portfolio." I do. He pages through it slowly, occasionally pausing to ask questions. Where did I learn this technique? What inspired that design? Why did I choose this fabric over that one? The meeting lasts 2 hours. At the end, he closes my portfolio and looks at me. I'm offering you an internship, he says. It pays barely enough to survive. You'll work longer hours than you've ever worked. I'll criticize everything you do. Most people quit within 3 months. I won't quit, I say. We'll see. The internship is everything he promised. Brutal, exhausting, demanding. I work 18-hour days, sleep 4 hours, drink too much coffee. Alexander is exacting, sometimes harsh, never satisfied with good enough. But he's also fair. When I do something well, he acknowledges it. When I make mistakes, he shows me how to fix them. And late at night, when it's just us in the studio finishing a collection, he talks about his own journey. About being betrayed by a business partner who stole his designs and nearly destroyed him. About building himself back up from nothing. That's why I look for people like you, he says one night. People who've been broken and remade themselves. They understand what it costs. They don't take it for granted. We become friends. Not in a romantic way, he's my mentor, my teacher. But there's respect, understanding. 2 people who've survived their own disasters. 2 years into working for Alexander, he gives me a chance. Design a capsule collection for his Emerging Designers program. 10 pieces. If it succeeds, I get my own label under Fontaine's company. If it fails, I'm done. I pour everything into it. Every emotion from the last 4 years. The betrayal. The rebuilding. The transformation. I call it Phoenix. The collection launches at New York Fashion Week. I'm so nervous I throw up twice before the show. But when the models walk, when I see my designs on that runway, when the audience applauds, I know. This is it. This is what I was meant to do. The reviews are incredible. Raw and revolutionary. A voice we need to hear. The future of fashion. Orders flood in. Celebrities request pieces. My name starts appearing in magazines. Vogue does a feature on emerging designers and I'm on the list. Alexander calls me into his office a month after the show. You did it, he says simply. Your own label, full partnership. You'll have creative control, and Fontaine Fashion will handle production and distribution. I'm 32 years old. 4 years ago, I was serving coffee and living in my brother's guest room. Now I'm standing in Alexander Fontaine's office, being offered my own fashion label. There's one more thing, Alexander says. We're launching a marketing campaign. Billboards in major cities. You'll be the face of it. Me. You. Your story, your rise. It's what sells. He shows me the mock-up, a photo of me in one of my designs, a gold dress, stunning and confident. Alexander standing beside me in a tuxedo, his hand on my shoulder, both of us looking directly at the camera. The tagline reads, "When they count you out, count yourself in." The billboards go up next month, Alexander says. New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Miami, and a few smaller markets. Our advertising team handles regional placement. I stare at the image. That's me! That's really me! One of those smaller markets. Alexander continues, checking his notes. I was about 30 miles from some town called Millbrook. Our team said the highway traffic there fits our demographic. Millbrook. That's 20 minutes from my hometown. 20 minutes from where Derek probably still lives. I smile. Perfect. Derek is sitting in traffic on Highway 40 when he sees it. The billboard is huge, impossible to miss, and for a full 5 seconds his brain refuses to process what he's looking at. That can't be Olivia, but it is his Olivia. Except she's not his anymore. Not even close. She's wearing a gold dress that shimmers in the afternoon sun, standing tall and confident next to a man in an expensive tuxedo. Alexander Fontaine. Derek knows that name, everyone does. The man's hand rests on her shoulder, protective and proud. They both stare directly at the camera with the kind of confidence Derek's never possessed. The tagline underneath reads, "When they count you out, count yourself in." His hands start shaking. A car honks behind him, the light turned green and he didn't notice. He pulls over into a parking lot, nearly clipping the curb, grabs his phone with trembling fingers and searches her name. The results are endless. Articles, interviews, Fashion Week coverage. Olivia Chen, fashion's phoenix rising. The designer everyone's talking about. From unknown to unstoppable. He clicks on an interview from last month. There she is, sitting in a beautiful office, articulate and poised. The interviewer asks about her inspiration. "I think the best art comes from transformation," Olivia says, and her voice is different, stronger. "I experienced profound betrayal that forced me to rebuild myself completely. That pain became fuel. It taught me that the only approval I need is my own." She never mentions his name, doesn't say my ex-husband or give any details. He's been completely erased from her story. Not even important enough to be the villain, just forgotten. Derek watches 3 more interviews, reads 5 articles. Each one makes him feel smaller. This woman confident, successful, articulate. She's a stranger, nothing like the quiet, apologetic person he married. The one who laughed at jokes that hurt her. Who made herself small so his family could feel big. He finds her business email after an hour of searching. Sends a message. "Olivia, I'm so proud of you. I always knew you had this in you. Can we talk?" He sends another the next day. Then another. He convinces himself he's being supportive. That they left things badly but could find closure. That maybe, somewhere deep down, she still thinks about him. 2 weeks pass. No response. Then a thick envelope arrives at his apartment. Legal letterhead. He opens it with dread pooling in his stomach. It's a cease and desist letter from Fontaine Fashion's legal team. Any further contact with Miss Chen will result in legal action for harassment. The message is clear. She doesn't want to hear from him. She didn't even care enough to respond herself. Just had lawyers handle it, like he's a pest to be swatted away. Derek stares at the letter until the words blur. He's never felt this before, complete insignificance. Like he's nothing. Nobody. He drives to his parents' house in a daze. Brandon and Tyler are there for dinner, showing videos of their latest pranks on their phones. Their view counts are dropping. People are tired of cruel humor, moving on to other content. But they're still doing it, still laughing at people's pain. His father laughs along. His mother scolds half-heartedly but doesn't mean it. Derek watches them and sees his future if nothing changes. Stuck, stagnant, still cruel, still small. He stands up in the middle of Brandon's video. "I have to go." "What?" "We're about to eat," his mother says. "I can't do this anymore." "Do what?" Tyler asks, confused. "This. Any of this." Derek looks at Brandon. "You know that video you posted? Of Olivia? That wasn't funny. That was cruel. We were cruel." Brandon rolls his eyes. "Oh God, not this again. It was years ago. She clearly got over it." "No, she didn't get over it. She left me. She left all of us. And she became something amazing because she got away from us." "She got lucky," his father says dismissively. "No, Dad. She worked hard. While we were sitting around making jokes and living off your money, she was building something real. And we treated her like garbage." Derek walks out. They call after him, confused and annoyed. He doesn't look back. The next day he calls a therapist, makes an appointment, tells her everything, the desert, the divorce, the billboard, how he's 35 and just realizing he's wasted his life, being the person his family wanted instead of someone he could respect. It takes months. Therapy, hard conversations, difficult changes. He sells his shares in his father's business, moves to a different city, starts working for a non-profit that helps at-risk youth. The pay is terrible compared to what he had. He doesn't care. He keeps one photo on his phone, the billboard. Not because he thinks he can get her back, he knows that's impossible. But as a reminder of what happens when you underestimate someone. When you treat people like they're disposable. One day, his therapist asks why he's really changing. Because I want to look at myself in the mirror and not hate what I see, he says. And because she deserves to live her life without me being a stain on it. 2 years later, Derek is scrolling through news on his lunch break when he sees it. Olivia's showing at Paris Fashion Week. The biggest stage in fashion. He clicks the article. There are photos of her backstage. Adjusting a model's dress. Laughing with her team. And there's Alexander. Standing close. Watching her with obvious affection. The article mentions they've been together for a year. That they're partners in every sense, business and personal. That Alexander calls her the most talented designer of her generation. Derek stares at the photo. Alexander's looking at Olivia the way Derek should have looked at her years ago. Like she's valuable, important, irreplaceable. He closes the article. Deletes the bookmark he'd kept to her brand's website. It's time to let go completely. That night, Derek volunteers at the youth centre like he does every Tuesday. A 15-year-old kid named Marcus is there, angry about his girlfriend breaking up with him. She didn't even give me a chance to explain, Marcus says. Just blocked me. It's not fair. Derek sits down next to him. Can I tell you something? When I was younger, I did something really terrible to someone I loved. And she didn't give me a second chance either. Just cut me out of her life completely. So what did you do? I had to accept that some things can't be fixed. That sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is leave them alone and become better so you don't hurt anyone else the same way. Marcus thinks about this. Did you become better? I'm trying. Every day. Across the country, Olivia stands backstage at Paris Fashion Week. The show starts in 10 minutes. Models are lined up in her designs, looking like warriors and queens. Alexander comes over, adjusts her collar gently. Ready? He asks. She nods. They've been together for a year now, not rushed or desperate, but built on genuine friendship and respect. He's never made her feel small. Never asked her to dim her light so his could shine brighter. Your grandmother would be proud, he says softly. Olivia smiles. She'd probably tell me the hem on dress 3 is crooked. Alexander laughs. Kisses her forehead. That's why she'd be proud. Nothing but excellence. The music starts. Her cue. Olivia takes a deep breath and nods to the stage manager. The models begin to walk. Each piece tells a story not just of survival, but of triumph. Of refusing to stay broken. Of building something beautiful from ashes. The audience applauds. Cameras flash. Olivia watches from the wings, Alexander's hand warm in hers. She doesn't think about Derek anymore. Hasn't in months. He's become what he always should have been, nothing. Not even a footnote in her story. Just a mistake she made when she didn't know her worth. The final model walks. The applause grows louder. Alexander squeezes her hand. Go, he whispers. Take your bow. Olivia walks onto the runway. The lights are blinding, the crowd is on their feet. And for one perfect moment, standing at the end of that runway in Paris, she thinks about the girl who was left on a desert highway 6 years ago. That girl would never believe this moment was possible. But that girl doesn't exist anymore. Olivia raises her hand to wave, and the crowd roars louder. She didn't just survive. She transcended. And the man who left her broken in the dust? He's nothing now. Not even a memory worth holding on to. Just proof that leaving can be the best decision you ever make.